So today we're going to turn another one of my personal projects into a fire-breathing death trap. Let's get it.
It absolutely rips. Oh. Handmade right here in the UK, in my shop.
Welcome to No Fabs. What's happening, boys and girls? Welcome back to another video. So today is a little bit different. It's very quiet down here in the garage. There's no one here. That's because it's bank holiday, which is why I've got my safety crocs on. Got my safety crocs on and I've not got my uniform on. Now, I'm down here for a very specific reason though. I'm not down here to work on somebody else's project for once. I'm down here to do something on one of my own projects. And this thing's a beast. Get ready for this. All right, so maybe I lied. It's not a beast yet, but it will be. Let me introduce you to my ride. So it is a 1994 Honda C50 Super Cub. Now, I don't know that much details about this and I'll explain why. So this, I do know it's a Japanese import. It's not a UK spec bike. It is a Japanese import. Now, I bought this from my cousin. He used this daily until he passed his test. He used this every single day. He put it up for sale when he passed his test, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to get that, I'm going to have that, and I'm going to do something with it. So I went and collected it from his house. I kid you not, I rode it up the top of my street and I rode it down to the bottom, and I put it in the garage. I've never touched it since. The reason for that? The 50 engine just wasn't for me. Absolutely gut slow. I could not ride that. Not made for a fat kid like me. 14 stone on it, 13 and a half, 14 stone on it. It did not move at all. So the 50 engine, the bike came with a 90 engine. So the whole plan was, I'm going to Isle of Man in less than a month now. So I'm getting slightly worried. Going to Isle of Man in less than a month. And my plan was to put the 90 engine in it because my pal's got a C90, and then the other kid who's coming with us as well has got a C90. So I thought, I'll just sling the 90 engine in, what came with it. Bob's your uncle, I'll be able to keep up with them boys, happy days. Well, the engine what's in there now is the 90 engine. And it's dog shit. It's dog shit, it's a lemon. So the engine leaks oil. I can't really get it running right. It seems to splutter, which is probably more of a carb issue than it is an engine issue. But the carb came with the engine, and I don't know if they're a mismatch. And you know what? Other day I was working on it outside at home, and I just chucked it in garage with face on, and I just thought, right, I've got a better solution than that. So, what is that solution? Well, let me show you the solution. The solution is this. Oh, this is a YX190 engine, which should probably tear that frame to pieces and turn it into an absolute wheeler machine death trap, which, if you're a regular of this channel, judging by the other stuff what I've got, the death trap Volvo, the death trap Escort, and, well, now the death trap Plaggy. That is the plan of today's video. We're going to give this bike some upgrades. So let me tell you a little bit about the engine. It's a ZONGSHEN, so it's a Chinese engine, but a lot of people are running these. It's a ZONGSHEN Z190 engine. Now, the engine is nearly brand new. I did order a brand new one, and then the seller emailed me to tell me they got stock issues, blah, 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 blah. Went on eBay, found a guy breaking a monkey bike. This is what came up. I think he'd removed it out of a DAX. Not too sure why he'd removed it. It broke the bike because all the rest of the bike were in pieces on his eBay, so I'm not too sure. The engine apparently has only done 50 miles. Now, the engine is from 00 Racing, which is great because 00 Racing sell these engines. Now, the engines, obviously, they're a Chinese engine. They've got many, many problems known to them. Gearbox issues and just various issues. So 00 Racing, when they sell these, they go through a checklist and they fix all them problems before they sell them. So this being a 00 Racing has had all those problems fixed. Now, how do I think today's gonna go? The engine is gonna fit in the frame, I think. Might have to chop it up a little bit, but the cowling, there's usually a cowling what goes here, which I'll get to in a minute. We've got a whole host of parts what I need to show you for this bike, but the cowling is gonna need some chopping, or that oil cooler is gonna need relocating. Not too sure which. This is a kickstart engine, that's an electric start and a kickstart engine. Now, I really want to wire up the electric start because kicking these 190s are the donkeys to kick. And they're also very, very renowned for cracking crankcases because they're such high compression. If they give you a kickback, they can break the crankcase. I am riding this very, very far. Like I said, we're going to Isle of Man. I've got to park the van at Heysham and we've got to ride up to Liverpool, which is about 60 miles. So I've got to do 60 miles on this thing, so I really don't want it to be a dog, which is why I went for this engine in the first place. Well, which is why I wanted the Honda engine. I wanted the Honda 90 engine because they're very, very reliable. Those things are reliable if you're sensible with them. So we're going to get to it a little bit later on in the video about, well, when I get all the parts in a minute, we'll explain how we're going to try and keep that reliable. So let me get all the parts. Let's have an explanation of what we're going to do. So firstly, completely unrelated to the engine, there is the foot cowling. I'd really like that back on. Again, like I said, it's probably going to need some chopping around the oil cooler. Here is another front mudguard because Callum, my cousin whose bike it were, fell off it and cracked the front one. So I've got a new one, completely cosmetic. I'll just fit that because it's in my garage, sick of looking at it. So we'll fit that as well later. This is a funny one, what's probably going to make you all laugh. So as I'm going on a bike, I'm camping, I'm going to need a tent, I'm going to need my sleeping bag and all my camera equipment because I'm going to film that for you boys, maybe girls. So yes, I am carrying a lot of things on the bike. You see I've got a front rack on the front of it. Don't know if anything's going to fit on that, but Callum did give me this. So this is not the original seat. This is a kept speed racing seat. The original seat is like a short thing, and then this used to bolt onto the back subframe panel and it would sit something like that. That'll be handy for me. Although it looks really, really stupid, that will actually be really handy for me because I can strap my sleeping bag, my tent and everything onto there with a bungee strap. But I don't want to put the original seat back on because it's disgusting. So today we're going to probably, in all honesty, cut that up, make it work. My plan initially is probably just cut the shape of the seat out of it and then the seat will still go down, but we'll leave me some of the rack to strap stuff too. Other options would be like trying to move it back, but that's getting a pain in the arse at that point. I just want ease today. I don't want to be here all day or all night. I'm going to be here all day. I don't want to be here all night. These are some foot pegs what came with the 90 engine. Again, they've got like proper motocross pegs been welded on to end of a C90 footstool. Don't know whether I want to keep the rubber ones or put them on. I'll decide on that a little bit later. What's next? So we've got the engine oil. These engines are very, very finicky about specific oil. They need to run 2050 mineral oil, so luckily the seller gave me some of that. There is a racing, I think that's a regulator rectifier, I think. Don't know, we'll look into that a little bit later. That's just for the cowling. That to me looks like a CDI unit, Bolt 00 Racing, look. 00 Racing on there. That is a CDI unit, I believe. That's just a side cover for the other side because it's off. This is a clutch cable designed specifically for these Z190s because they're a 6-plate clutch. Very, very stiff apparently. So these are a clutch cable designed specifically for them, heavy duty. So we shall need that. Spare oil filter, we'll probably fit that in later on today. We'll check the oil. And some all-important instructions, which will probably become useful because the wiring is not going to be exactly the same from that to that. I don't know how that's going to go. We're going to figure that out as we go. What else we got? Here we've got a start button because it's electric start, so we're going to need a start button. Here we've got some grips because we are going to need to put a clutch perch on there. This is a semi-auto engine, 3-speed, so is the 50. That's a 5-speed manual engine. So we're going to need to put a clutch on there. Well, in a bit, I want to keep the standard handlebars. I don't want to put pro tapers on like some people do. So I'm going to do some sort of bar extensions and we're going to be able to put the clutch perch on there, which is exactly what that is. That's a clutch perch. Did come with a cable, but we'll probably use that yellow one. And I also got a spare throttle cable because I wasn't sure if the original one would be long enough. So I just got a spare one just for a pit bike. That's just a spare lever what came with it. Some grips, because I'm going to have to cut those ones off, so I've got some motocross grips, we'll just sling them on. Now earlier on, when you remember when I said I was going to gear this to try and be mechanically sympathetic to that engine, right, the way I'm going to gear it is, we're going to try and drop the back sprocket size quite low. This is a 34 tooth blank sprocket. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take the original sprocket off. My mate Mitch at Machine Shop is going to put me the correct bore size in the middle, he's going to put me the correct bolt holes in. That is then going to give me a 34 tooth back sprocket, which should tame that engine down a little bit. We don't want it to be too, we don't want it to be too much of a wheelie machine, We want it to be able to cruise at 65 miles an hour nicely without it revving the knackers off it, because that is what kills these engines. If they're sat at high RPM all the time, that's what kills those engines. So we want to try and gear it to be mechanically sympathetic. So I got a 34 tooth back sprocket, but I did get a backup. So the original front sprocket is 16 tooth. So if I find it's too boring or it's too lethargic, I've got a 15 tooth front sprocket. We'll drop it down to a 15 tooth and that should liven it up a little bit more. But yeah, we'll not be doing that today. So that will be probably tomorrow when Mitch is back at work. I'll drop it on his desk, tell him I need it in 5 minutes. And there's just a new chain. So the chain size on these is 420. We're upgrading to 428, a little bit stronger, a little bit better for what we require. And last but not least, I am a fab shop. I do build exhaust systems. The exhaust system on the original one is not going to cut it because the bore size is like the size of your little finger. So that's going to choke that engine to death. That's going to be no good. But I did want original looks. I didn't want it to be, you see a lot of these where they have like pit bike exhausts on, and I didn't want that. I wanted standard looks, but I wanted to be able to cope with the power. So the other day, did a thing. I ordered a brand new exhaust off eBay. Now, not a genuine Honda one. This was a Chinese special, which, may I add, was absolutely dog shit quality. Awful thing it was, terrible. I'm so glad I weren't actually fitting it as it was. Now, you'll probably see just there, look. She's had a little bit of a chop. Well, why is that, Nathan? That is because we've got rid of all the horrible chambers, what used to be in this. So there was no packing in it. There was all like little chambers welded inside of it and switching direction, and that's what makes it quiet. Well, we got rid of all that, and we've made it into a big bore exhaust. Now, that's not a mess up. I didn't burn an hole in it. That is like a water drain, so when exhaust sits on it, it's supposed to sit down here. My own stupid fault. I welded it in a little bit off center, which is well annoying. It should have been at bottom, but hey ho, is what it is. But yes, that is now 1.5 inch bore the whole way down. So that will be original looks, but we'll get a bit of sound and it won't be restrictive at all. Right, I think that's enough jabbering, innit? And we better get stripping. So first job is, we're gonna whip out the 90 and then we're gonna mount the new one. I'll show you that this one does run. The engine does run, it's just a pellet. Just can't cope with it. She might want a bit of choke. What a pellet. So it does run, but it's very underwhelming. Let's get it out. Let's start fitting this new one. And there we go. That should be the fastest engine removal you have ever witnessed. Should be around 14 seconds, according to the video footage. So there is the 90 engine, what I've taken out of it. Good riddance, to be honest with you. Good riddance. So the first step, I guess, before we start, we're going to take the chain off, take the sprockets off. I think the first thing will just be to make sure that that engine actually lines up in that frame. Let's find out. I tell you, I'm not looking forward to trying to lift this one in on my own. This looks heavy, doesn't it? Could have done with one of your guys to come and give me a lift. Right, well, let's see how this goes. Fucking hell. No chance. Absolutely no chance I'm going to be able to lift that up with one hand. Maybe if I just try and pivot it and get that back one in. God, it's right heavy compared to the original one anyway. If I can try and pivot it up like that, I'm scratching all my new engine. That one, I can't remember which one came out of here now. The one's going to be longer than other, Nathan, you pleb. So that one's going to be that one. Since it came out that way, that's going to be that one, isn't it? Probably better off coming to this side. See, let's bolt us through this way. Brainiac. Oh. Tell you what, folks, that's going to be a struggle on my own. That is not going to be easy. That's an heavy old engine, that. Oh. Lifting it up, no problem. Could just do with one of you boys putting it bolting. It fits in the frame, it's just I can't get. I just can't get bolted as well. Right, I need to figure a solution.
A few moments later.
So after one hell of a battle, I managed to get one bolt in, but sadly the frame does need a little bit of choppage. You can see here, look, it's fouling ever so slightly. So I've got the bolt in on this side, down at the bottom here, but I can't get it through the other side, and I can't get this top one in line either. But, sheesh! Would you like some bike with that engine? Chuffing out, it's a big boy, that, isn't it? And it makes bike look tiny. So I suppose we better get grinder out, haven't we? And we're chopping her up. This is criminal what I'm doing. Absolutely criminal. I should be locked away. It's a lovely bike, this. I'm absolutely brutalising it for no apparent reason. Let's get grinder. See how many sparks come off it. I think she'll do, you know. I think she'll make one. Right, let's try again. I think the bolt holes are just slightly different. I mean, slightly. Absolute animal. Absolutely. It's either that or drill the frame out a bit. One of the other. Because it's still not in line all that great. So what do we do, boys? Do we slot the frame slightly? Because that, yeah, it ain't really lining up. So I don't think that's gonna work. I think we're gonna have to put a little slit. We're gonna have to elongate them holes slightly, I believe. I did eventually get it in. So I had to slightly slot this top hole a little bit. And it fits in now. Engine is now mounted in on both bolts. So what I've just been doing is I've just been checking the chain alignment. I just thought I'd bring you guys along, let you have a look. So when you're putting an engine in like this, most important part is to make sure that your chain alignment is in good alignment with the back sprocket, otherwise chain's gonna keep coming off. So the way we do that is I'm just gonna basically just eyeball it. Look, you can see there, if you look straight down that chain to that front sprocket, we are pretty much in line. If you drop engine in first gear and just pull back wheel back, put a bit of tension on chain, you can see that is as near as damn it perfect. Now you would be able to correct it a little bit on these adjusters at back if it weren't, but that is pretty damn perfect. So the issue what we face is this is a manual 5-speed, so it has got a clutch. The old one was a semi-automatic, doesn't have a clutch. Now I've cut the grip off to find that it got that welded on there, so I've literally just ground the weld off and slip that off, because that is the same thickness as what the throttle is. So technically I would need 2 throttle side grips. That's annoying. We're not going to do that. We're going to make a new one. And it's also too fat for the clutch perch. So the clutch perch is down here. But you can see it's too baggy to clamp to the original bar underneath that. So here's what I've come up with. I've had some tube upstairs that weren't quite the right thickness, so I've just had to bore it out a little bit on the lathe, just a tiny little bit. And that's going to do us now. Sadly, I'd not got one bit that was completely long enough, which is annoying. I'd got 2 offcuts, so I've had to do this in 2 pieces. So you can see I've drilled some holes in it. That's because I'm going to spot weld them to bars. We'll get them in right spot. And that is the exact length, the extension, what we need now. So we're going to have to do the exact same to other side, because we don't want one side longer than other. That will throw your dog off. But you can see there, that's the right size now. The clutch perch will clamp to that. And that's also the right size for grip, because it's the exact right size for that perch. I know it's the right size for grip. So the grip will go on there at that, no problem. Happy days. You can see there, look, it'll be about the right length as well. By the time it's all whipped at bar stop, it will be about the right length as well. Now, other side's a little bit more tricky, because the throttle tube is obviously plastic. The throttle tube is designed to go over the skinnier bit of the bar. So for some reason, it's like that. I don't know why that had been made thicker, I'm not sure. So we're gonna have to do an extension on this side for the throttle tube to bring it out the exact same amount as that. But yeah, I can't make it out of that same tube. Now I've got some solid bar upstairs, which is about the right thickness. Might just have to step it down, TIG weld it around there, and then that obviously will glide nicely on the throttle tube. Here's going to be where the start button is. So it's not going to look as neat, because you're going to see this open bit here around this side, look. Whereas obviously they butt up nice, which is annoying, but I need to bring it all out. I can't have one side longer than the other, it will drive me up wall. So I've got to have them both even. Definitely got to space them both out the right amount. Now, it looks massive on camera. It doesn't look that big in person, but it looks massive on camera out the amount that I've had to extend it. But nah, it'll be sound. Right, I'm gonna get them welded on. We're gonna get that clutch perch bolted on. I'm gonna figure out how I'm gonna route clutch cable, and we'll get that grip on, and then that'll be that side done. No going back now. She's welded on. Great, let's mount that clutch perch. And there we have a working clutch. So that's one side done. Now I just need to space the other side out. I've routed that through there as well. You can see I've had to drill a little bit out of here. I've had to drill another hole in there. Tried to route cable down there back at cowling, keep it as neat as I can. We'll see. We'll see if I've got enough space for the white leg guard to go on, because this is quite short, this cable. So hopefully that'll still fit on. But yeah, that's least of my worries. Right, let's get this other side at bars done, and we'll get all handlebars put back together, and we'll carry on with the rest of the stuff. There is that's just a blank. I've done it because I didn't like how you could see in there, so I've made that as like a blank. That's where the push button start's going to be. Now you see I've cut a square out of it. That's because this has got a locator, look, what stops it spinning. That used to go in there. So I've had to put that in the new part. So we'll weld that on it right spot, we'll make sure we get it level. And then there's just a piece of solid bar, just machine the end out of it. That's going to go in there, and we're going to weld that round. And then that should extend that to the exact same length as the other side. Now we can check it. It should be 19 centimetres. She'll do me. It's close enough, isn't it? So I extended that side to 19 centimetres, look. Yeah, that side were extended to 19 centimetres. This side is also now 19 centimetres. Let's weld that in. And there we go, finished throttle side, all extended. We've now got a start button. The wire for that is really short though, that's going to need extending. Look, see, that still goes to there. That's not going to reach to nothing, so that's going to need some extension. Well, that's a minor problem. That is now my handlebars done. So, next, I think I'm going to put foot pegs on. And, I don't know, just going to keep chipping away at it. There's so much to do. Obviously, I'm leaving wiring until last. I'll get these foot pegs on. Well, that was well over an hour of my life what I will never see again. But at the end result is I now have a custom foot peg bracket. In case you're wondering why do I need a custom foot peg bracket, it's because I want to run the original style of exhaust. I would have had to order the foot peg bracket what suits this engine anyway, but then I wouldn't be able to run the original exhaust due to the path. So that's what that big loop is about there. That's going to allow me exhaust to come through. You see I've had to strengthen it to death because I didn't want it to be springy or boingy. Chopped up brackets off of the one with the actual spiky pegs on. Look, I've decided I'm going to use that one, sod it. It's far from an original example anymore, is it? So that's what we're going to use. But there we go. I'm going to try and keep this video fast paced. I don't want it to be 2 hours long, but there we go. Let's get that fitted. Another thing ticked off the list.
Right, it's been a long day. Look how mucky my face is. Let me show you this bird's nest. So I've been doing a little bit of wiring. I think we're about ready for a test run. I think. I mean, let's have a little look together. I've not tested it yet. Promise you, let's see what happens. So I haven't got a battery. The batteries, I've been ordered another battery from home. So what to do is I have to convert it from a AC stator to a DC stator, which I've just followed a guide on YouTube and I've been following paperwork down here. Look what I got from 00 Racing. The CDI now, I've cut the wire, I've given it all its power feed and all that jazz. I've done everything and I think that I need to do in regards to that. Starter motor has got its lives in, it's got a big earth in. This is the old regulator rectifier wire. I'm not too sure what happens with that now. Unsure on that one. No idea. I don't know if lights are going to work. I'll be honest, I've got no idea. So when I flick this button now on handlebar, that engine should spin because I've got the battery booster on there. So let's see. It's either going to set on fire or it's going to spin over. You ready? Oh, well, I didn't see any smoke and it turned over, so that's good. Right. If I've got it wired correct, we should have a spark at that spark plug. Boom! So if that's got a spark, realistically now, if we just add fuel to that, this engine should start. But there's no oil in it, so we will need to put some oil in it. But realistically, this engine should start then if we put fuel to this now. Let me sort fuel line out. I'll put spark plug back in, I'll put some engine oil in it, and we'll see if the thing will fire. Well, folks, here it is. This should run now. So I've put oil in it. We know it's got a spark. We know ignition works. It cuts it off. Just in case something weird happens, I don't know. In case it revs its knackers off. Yeah. I've primed carb up. So I've spun it over and over and over and over and over with fuel in it. With plug out to make sure we've primed carb. So really, I mean, this is, if it does start, it's going to be really, 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 really loud. Because there's no exhaust on it. I think we're just going to get a bit of a precaution in place. We're just going to have a pair of grips on HT lead, just in case I need to pull it off, because you don't know what's going to happen here. You know, in case it revs its knackers out, I want to be able to whoomp, I want to be able to pull that off and cut it out. Shall we give it a button press and see what it does? I'm scared. It fired. Let's get a bit of choke. Way! It runs. Ignition turned it off. I don't even know why I was that worried. Happy days. So really, we need to get exhaust done. Batteries at home, put battery on, then we don't have to mess around with all this messy wiring. Yeah, did light come on then? I didn't know. I don't know if I didn't check light. Let's have another look. Let's clip that back on. Let's see if light worked. I can't remember if light worked. Right, so there's one thing that I do need to sort. The light's not working, so I'm guessing that's one of them wires on regulator rectifier. So I do need to sort that. That shouldn't be too difficult. It should be very easy. There's going to be both lights in it. It's going to be front and back. I'm almost certain it's going to be one of them that's going to just want put into an ignition live. Yeah, I'm guessing that's not going to be that hard of work. Other than that, just minor now, innit? Make exhaust, get cowling on, and get Mitch to make me that sprocket tomorrow. Get chain on then. Tell you, I've put some hours in today, boys. It's only going to be a short video, but I've put some hours in on this, I tell you. Well,
I'm pleased to hear it run, to say at least. I desperately need a tidy up because, my God, I can't even breathe in here. There's that much mess. Time is it now? I don't think I'm going to get much more done today, I'll be honest. Well, that's all she wrote for today. I've got not everything that I wanted to get done. I've got quite a lot done. I mean, I'm happy it runs. I need to still finish a bit of wiring tomorrow, tidy things up. I need to trim a lot of stuff. But yeah, today I've had enough now. I'm going to get home. I won't mind seeing my kids. I've not seen them all day. I've been here all day. I mean, it doesn't seem like it in this video. It doesn't seem like I've done much, but I've done loads. I've been here hours. So I'm going to take these home with me now. I'm going to get these run to my mate in the morning, and I'm going to get him to cut me that sprocket. We'll get alt wheel back on tomorrow if he gets it me done. Yeah, we'll get everything finished tomorrow, hopefully. We'll see. See you tomorrow. So there it is, my Honda C50 successfully converted to 190. Now we're yet to go and have a ride, which we're going to do in a minute. We're going to go and have a ride, see what it's like. Couple of things, exhaust is finished. Hoping it's going to be fairly quiet. I know it's not going to be. Intercooler, oil cooler, not massively happy with that as it is. Not massively happy with that at all. I'm struggling to see anywhere else to put it. I noticed that a lot of lads who are doing these on plags and are still running the foot cowling and not running an oil cooler. Risky, I guess. Maybe I'll do that when I get back from Isle of Man, which is the whole reason why I've done this. I'm going to be riding it to Isle of Man. When I get back, if I break down locally, I don't mind. I just don't want to break down miles away. So probably going to leave that as it is for now. Not particularly happy with it, as I say. But yeah, let's have a listen. She'll want a bit of choke. Alright, well, it's not quiet at all. It's really not quiet. I can live with that. I can live with it not being quiet. I just wanted it quiet, you know, so unsuspecting sleeper, but ah well, that's how I want exhaust, so it can only really stay like that. She sounds a beast. She sounds an animal. I guess the last thing to do for the last part of this video is let's go for a little ride. See what it's like now. Before as a C50, we're painfully slow, like horrible, painful. Let's go and see if it's any better.
Alright, I'm out back. So guys, hopefully you can hear me okay. This is a untested microphone setup. I'm not too sure what it'll sound like, so if it's shit I apologise. Let's go and see what this is about, eh? Well, initially it rides lovely to start with. Oh, it's got bags of torque compared to what it used to have. Used to have no torque whatsoever, it didn't. It were terrible. So far, seems alright. Hopefully I don't see no coppers, or I don't lose my phone. It's that third gear. Oh, it's beautiful. It's a dream. Fourth gear. Oh, it's a dream. Right. Well, we're going to go for a proper ride, and we're going to see what it's about, like cruising, because I need it to cruise around 55 miles per hour, which is where other boys will be cruising, maybe 45. Fucking hell, tell you what, it doesn't do bumps very well. Suspension's a bit soft for my liking. Let me tell you what, it sounds the business anyway, if no else. Gearbox is a bit notchy, but I've read that about these, about them being notchy, so you can want to turn tick over up a little bit. Yeah, it's alright, I suppose. And keep an eye on my phone, make sure my phone don't fall out of my pocket. I've got fucking shorts on, trainers on, no zip pockets, no note. So it'd be a miracle if I don't lose my phone. We've still got L plates on and all. Right, hopefully we don't see roses. If I weren't going left here, I'd be round all these. Right, he says he's round lot of them. He's not fucking about. Oh, nearly stole it then. Can you imagine how embarrassing that'd have been? Oh. Right, we'll go for a little back road run. It's a bumpy old thing, I'll tell you now. It needs some stiffer springs on it for me. This is jokes. No, it rides mint. It rides absolutely mint. Got bags of torque. Bags of torque. I'm only just tickling it really. I'm not even giving it any whatsoever yet, because we don't even know if it's going to break down yet, do we? That's fourth gear and it just winds on, look. Couldn't do that with 50, I'll tell you that now. That 50 were gutless. But so far, I'm very, very pleased, I'll tell you that. And it sounds mint. Hopefully you can hear it on camera. It sounds mint. Oh, look at that. I wonder if it's still got power to get front up then, because I've geared it down, haven't I? So it would do. It would do. "45, 50 mile an hour. Not much problem at all. Pretty easy actually. Oh, it's bogging. It was bogging a bit then. Don't know if we're running out of juice. Let's go back. It's bogging a little bit. That's not a good sign, is it? Spluttering. Let's try and get as far back as we can. Less to walk. Oh, it's really spluttering now. Why?
Oh, it's alright again then. Might want a spark plug in it. Seems alright the more you fucking bumpy on road here, so chuffy. I'm bouncing all over, Gav. Seems alright when I go full throttle, it just seems a bit spluttery on low throttle, so I don't know if a carb might want a little clean, you know. Splutter in there, look, can hear it. Seems to be like part throttle. Seems to be spluttering part throttle, which is telling me it might want a quick carb clean. It's all right to start with, weren't it? So yeah, maybe it wants a carb clean. Fucking hell, it's warm up legs, I tell you. Well, overall, boys, quite happy with it so far, other than that little spluttering issue what we've got. But we'll sort that, won't we? It's warm on legs, that exhaust. Thank you, pal. Thank you. Well, my phone's still in my pocket anyway. We just need to sort that part throttle splutter out, so I think we're going to get carb clean. And we'll see how that goes. You hear it there then, you can just hear it apart, it's like half throttle. That's a minor problem though, I'm happy with that. It's alright, full throttle. Will it lift the front? Let's find out. Yeah, of course it will. No problem. Just feels a bit duggy to wheel it to me because it's so soft. Feels a bit spazzy. Tell you what, oh DJ can wheel him, I can't wheel it like him. It's too soft for me, can't cope. Need some stiffer back springs. Phone's still in my pocket anyway. Right, well, I think, boys, we'll probably call that a go there, ain't we? First run, got a little splutter to sort, but other than that, we'll get that sorted and let me know in the comments below. Whoa. Would you like me to see this on there? Would you like to see this in the Isle of Man with me and my boys? Let me know in the comments. If you do, maybe we'll film it for you. Make a little series out of it. Well, not a series, but we'll catch you in the next video.